So we're going to start. Okay, so this is my personal Doctor Who theory about what's going on in the last season. So there's a lot of people not enjoying the last season, and there's some people that are enjoying the last season. It's a very diverse crowd at the moment about Doctor Who, but I've been thinking about Russell T Davies and how he does things and how he crafts things. People have been saying he's been writing this really badly, and if you take it from one perspective, then yes, the writing's very poor this season, and the Doctor is not at all like the Doctor. So it's very, very weird. But I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've had a lot of time to think while I've had toothache and shit. And I've been thinking about this a lot. And so here's a theory that nobody's come up with. And stick with it, because at first it'll sound like it's, if you're a Doctor Who fan, at first it'll sound like it's really out there, right? And it's probably completely nuts. But I'll explain some things that might make some of it clearer. So here we go. You're going to think I'm mad. All right. The Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, is not Doctor Who. Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor is, in fact, the Master. Right? This is my theory. This is my theory. Okay? This is my theory. The reason I think that is because no, he's not clone. He's actually the Master. The reason I say this is there is some historical reasons for this. For a start, the Doctor's behaviour throughout the last series has completely been more akin to that of the Master than that of the Doctor. For instance, he does. I said this before, that I really didn't like the song and dance routines that they put in it. Like the Doctor breaks into song and dance, you know. But the Master's done that before many times in canon. Examples. What's the guy's name? Sacha Dhawan, who played the Master, was dancing to Rasputin. So he was dancing to Rasputin. He was doing a song and dance routine with the Daleks and the Cybermen there, which was weird. But that's kind of as the Master, when they were Missy, said, bananas. So this is canon for the Master. And John Sims, when John Sims was the Master and the president of the world and this sort of thing, I think he was present, whatever. He was up in his ship in the sky, his skyship, Skybase, and he was dancing around and singing "I Can't Decide" by the Scissor Sisters. So there's some canon for this, for the Master to be like this, but not the Doctor. But there is for the Master. And if you think about it, the Master has always said one of the things he really wants to do is like to play the role of the hero, to be in the shoes of the Doctor, right? The Master's always said that. And so now he is playing the Doctor, he's being in the shoes. The Master's obviously going to be more promiscuous as well. And like in the latest episode, we see the Doctor having a good old snog to Jonathan Groff, who plays Rogue. Give a good old snog like 10 minutes after he sees him and that sort of thing. And he's straight in there. And then afterwards, when Rogue disappears into another dimension, the Doctor's cut up for about 2 seconds and he's like, oh well, let's move on, yay, which is very much like the Master again. The Master's like, oh dear, too bad, I really liked that one, especially when the Master was Missy. They were doing I really like that one, never mind, I do like playing with your friends, Doctor. So I am absolutely convinced, it's probably wrong, but I'm absolutely convinced that the Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, is not the Doctor. Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor is the Master, right? That's my theory. Now, how could this happen? You're going to say, how could this happen? Because they were split. You saw them being split. Okay, so there's a few ways this could be a thing. We don't know where the Master comes from. So maybe this is the first incarnation of the Master. They've always said that they're connected. The Doctor and the Master, they're always connected. So what if the Master is actually part of the Doctor? This is the first generation, the first regeneration of the Master. He actually comes from the Doctor. That could be it. And so Ncuti Gatwa, thinking they're the Doctor, playing the role of the Doctor, whatever, as actually the Master and the first generation of the Master. That's what I think. Anyway, the other thing, it could be something like the toy makers. The toy maker did something to pull the essence of the Master into the regeneration, to reform the Master, because he didn't, and all this sort of thing. It could be that. So there's the thing. So then we move on to, but what about the whole thing that seems to be the thing for Ruby? Ruby for Master? No, I tell you what I think. I think Ruby is the Doctor. I think Ruby is the Doctor. The series hasn't really been centered on the Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. It's been centered on Ruby Sunday. We've even got The Legend of Ruby Sunday as the upcoming episode, right? The writing is good. I think it could, it doesn't feel like it, but I think it could be, this. So if Ruby is the Doctor, that would explain. I'll get to Susan Twist in a minute. That would explain, if Ruby is the Doctor, that would explain why the TARDIS is still there, it's still working, it's still following them and everything else, right? So the TARDIS is there because the Doctor's still there. But it's a very early incarnation of the Doctor, prior to anything we know in the TV series, the 60-year TV series. That's an early one. And now, this is another of my theories, and it's really wild. The Timeless Child thing. Russell T Davies dropped hints that he was going to continue the Timeless Child story that was started by Chibnall. Now, if this is a continuation of the Timeless Child, then maybe it is another Time Lord from Gallifrey that is dropping the child off, Ruby Sunday, on Earth to get her away from the Time Lords who are abusing the Doctor's powers. Because when she comes through, they start using her power so they can regenerate themselves and that sort of thing. So that's a possibility as well. That leaves Susan Twist. Who is Susan Twist? So there's several possibilities for this. The first one is, she's the TARDIS. We've had, it's canon that the TARDIS has had a personality before, but they were confused and didn't know what was going on. But, right? They at first oh, you're that clever man in the box. I know this. They didn't know they were the TARDIS. They were a little confused. Now, the TARDIS has literally been split in two by what in this theory would be the Master. So the TARDIS is ailing, the TARDIS is stretched, and so the TARDIS is in pain, and Susan Twist is the TARDIS reaching out to Ruby, trying to say, "Doctor, help me!" Right? This is what's happening. So Susan Twist is the physical embodiment of the TARDIS. There is some canon for this. The other possibility is that Susan Twist is the Time Lord that dropped off Ruby Sunday. No, I don't like that idea, but it's possible. Susan Twist is the person, the Time Lord that they're calling the mother, that dropped off Ruby Sunday. But then she wouldn't be confused about why she's there. She'd know why she's there, that sort of thing. So that doesn't really fit. But the TARDIS one does. So there you go. That's what I think. I think, in a nutshell, the Doctor isn't the Doctor. The Doctor is the first incarnation of the Master. Ruby Sunday is the Doctor. And Susan Twist is, in fact, the TARDIS. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll find out soon.